The Yankees had a very, very busy deadline. And in my opinion, Brian Cashman, he gets an A. He gets an A. He did a wonderful, wonderful job addressing that Yankee bullpen. I'm going to tell you why he did a wonderful job. That Jake Bird trade, at first, I wasn't the biggest fan. Now I am, and I'm going to explain that. But before we get into that, Marcus Stroman. The Yankees have released Marcus Stroman from the Major League roster. Marcus Stroman this season pitching to a 6.23 ERA, 9 appearances, 39 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts with a 1.538 whip. Stroman, during his tenure with the Yankees, it wasn't pretty. His first 2 Yankee months, they were pretty good. The month of May of 2024 was one of the best in baseball. Really good. After that, fell off a cliff, unfortunately. And it carried over into this season, and the Yankees decided to move on from Marcus Stroman. I wish him the best of luck. Now, why did they do that? Why did they cut Marcus Stroman? Well, for one, you had to make a move for the players you acquired at the deadline, right? And then 2, you have Luis Gil on the way back, so you don't need a starting pitcher. So Schlittler, Warren, or Stroman would have had to been a casualty in. And Warren, you could send him down. Schlittler, you could send him down. You can't send down Stroman, so you cut him. And that's what they did. They released Marcus Stroman. So Marcus, thank you so much for your time in Pinstripes. I wish you nothing but the best. But we have to talk about this Yankee trade deadline and how good it was and how good Brian Cashman did, because he did a wonderful job. Did we need a starting pitcher? I mean, you had Gil on the way back. I'm not gonna hate on Cashman for not getting a starting pitcher, because he needed to address that bullpen, and he addressed that bullpen. He addressed it in a really good way. So the first one I want to talk about is Jake Bird. Jake Bird this season pitching to a 4.73 ERA, 45 appearances, 53 1/3 innings pitched, 62 strikeouts with a 14.81 whip. The Yankees sent Rock Riggio and left-hander Ben Shields to the Rockies for Jake Bird. Now, the ERA is very, very high, right? That's what scared me off. I was like, this guy isn't that great. And on top of that, his road numbers aren't that great. But look what he did in his first 37 appearances. This is just the reason why his ERA is so bloated, because lately he's run into a wall, pretty much. But he's under team control for a very long time, at least until 2029. And Jake Bird, through his first 37 appearances, he pitched to a 2.63 earned run average. So if you could get that Jake Bird, and that's the one you acquired, and that's what I think. I think it's just been a rough patch for him lately. Over his last 8 appearances, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 14 earned runs. He just needs to iron it out, because his first 37 appearances, 2.67 ERA, 2.63 ERA rather, and he has disgusting stuff. So I, for one, since the Yankees made the trade not 24 hours ago, maybe like 20 hours ago or so, it's grown on me a bunch, because when you look at his first 37 appearances, 2.63 ERA, you're hoping that's who he is. In my opinion, I think that is who he is, because that's too big of a sample size to all of a sudden stink. I have faith that he's going to turn it around, because his stuff is that good. Now, the other guy they acquired, Jose Cabierro, that was funny. They acquired him during the game against the Rays, right? So the Yankees sent Everson Pereira and a player to be named later to the Rays for Caballero. They kind of hurt me a tiny bit sending off Everson. I understand why they did it. I don't hate it. You got Jose Caballero, a good defender. He can play short, second, third. He's hitting 226 this season, 2 home runs, 638 OPS, 81 OPS plus. So not a really great offensive player, but when he gets on base, he steals bases. 34 stolen bases. As long as the Yankees don't neutralize that, and they let him steal bags, he's going to have 50 or 55 by the end of the year. The kid's having a wonderful season. I believe he leads the majors in stolen bases. So Caballero having a good year on the bases. The Yankees also get a guy in Caballero who's under team control, I believe until 2030, according to Baseball Reference. So Caballero, New York Yankee, love the move. Unfortunately, you had to trade Everson, but Yankees have a lot of minor league depth, a lot of organizational depth when it comes to the outfield, so I understand why they did that. So Caballero and New York Yankee love the move. Now, David Bednar. The Yankees acquired him from the Pirates. Bednar pitching to a 2.37 ERA, 42 appearances, 17 saves, 38 innings pitched, 51 strikeouts with 11.05 whip. And one of the players that was sent over to Pittsburgh, one of three, Rafael Flores, probably the best prospect that the Yankees sent this deadline. So Flores, that's a little bit of a stinger too, but you got Bednar, a guy who is not only on the team for the rest of this season, but next year. Bednar, that 2.37 ERA, 17 saves. His high leverage opponent's batting average is like 280, so that kind of scared me off. Not scared me off, but scared me a little bit because I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope that's not what he does here. But overall, throughout the entire season, pitching to a 2.37 ERA, 42 appearances, the Yankees needed to get a guy who's experienced in pitching in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, and Bednar is certainly that. But if you stop that Bird, if you stop that Bednar, if you stop that Cabierro, that, to me, that would have been a tough blow, a tough pill to swallow. But they didn't stop. At the buzzer, they acquired Camillo Dval from the Giants, and he has team control through the 2027 season. Dval pitching to a 3.09 ERA, 47 appearances, 15 saves, 46 2/3 innings pitched, 50 strikeouts with a 1.2 whip. The Yankees basically at the deadline, they acquired 32 saves? That's pretty cool. So now you brought in two guys with closing experience. Devin Williams, according to Brian Hoke, will remain the Yankee closer. But for Dval, you traded away 4 players. One of them were Jesus Rodriguez. So listen, you traded away Rafael Flores, Jesus Rodriguez, Rock Riggio. You traded those guys away. I get it. And some of you might be upset that the Yankees did that. However, you kept Cam Schlittler, Carlos LaGrange, Bryce Cunningham, Ben Hess. You kept Spencer Jones. You kept George Lombard. You kept your tippy-top prospects. I think Cashman did a fantastic job at adding depth, bench depth. You added Rosario a couple days ago. You added Ryan McMahon as your starting third baseman, an excellent defender. And then what he added to that bullpen, those 3 arms, loved this deadline. Loved this deadline. And Jake Bird, I think he's better than his numbers, than what his numbers tell you. He's better than what his numbers tell you. He is. So excellent deadline. You got guys that are under team control, for one, so not rental players. And Marcus Stroman, unfortunately, has to have been a casualty. But, hey, the Yankees certainly got better. They got a lot better. That bullpen is going to be disgusting. Dval, Bird, Bednar, and then on top of that, you already have Weaver, Williams, Hill. Nasty bullpen. And if you want to go deep into the playoffs, you need a nasty bullpen. And the Yankees, Cashman, did that. So friggin' happy. So happy. We'll see how they do, though, for the rest of the way. We'll see. They're 3.5 behind the Blue Jays. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. So listen, guys, let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Joe, and until next time, signing out.